Moving to Canada without a job offer. Here's how you can do it. You looking to move to Canada, but don't have a job offer. While it can be daunting to move to a new country without a guaranteed job, it is possible. In this video, we'll discuss some of the steps you can take to make a successful move to Canada without a job offer. But, before I continue, now would be a good time to subscribe to my channel and activate notifications, so you won't miss my next important videos where I talk about how you can move abroad for work or study without wasting a time. Let's get started on the topic. We'll cover everything from visas and permits to finding a job once you're in Canada. Watch complete video to find out how you can make the move to Canada without a job offer. Moving to Canada without a job offer is a great way to start a new life, but it's important to make sure you're prepared financially. To move to Canada, you'll need to have enough money to cover the costs of your flight, accommodations, and other living expenses during your stay. You should also have a financial cushion in case of any unexpected costs that may arise. Start by calculating how much money you'll need for the basics. Estimate the cost of your flight and any visas or permits you may need. Then, consider the cost of accommodations, food, and transportation. You should also factor in any additional costs that may be associated with your moves, such as insurance or other necessary items. Once you have an estimate of how much money you'll need, you can begin saving. It's important to set aside enough money so that you don't find yourself short of funds once you arrive in Canada. Consider setting up an emergency fund in case you run into unexpected costs, as well. Finally, make sure that your finances are in order before you leave. Set up an automatic transfer from your current bank account to your Canadian bank account so that you can easily access your funds when you arrive. This will help ensure that you have enough money to cover all of your expenses while settling in. By taking the time to save up enough money and get your finances in order, you can ensure that your move to Canada without a job offer will be successful. Keep in mind, however, that it won't always be easy. Even if you do have the financial means to move, there are certain obstacles you may encounter along the way. For instance, you may struggle to secure housing or find suitable employment opportunities. That said, if you approach your move with patience and perseverance, then you should have no problem adjusting to life in Canada without a job offer. You are considering moving to Canada without a job offer, you may want to consider getting a student visa. A student visa is one of the best ways to gain entry into the country without a job offer. It also allows you to apply for a work permit once you've finished your studies. To get a student visa, you will need to have been accepted into a Canadian college or university and provide proof that you have sufficient funds to cover your tuition and living expenses. Additionally, you must demonstrate that you are in good health and have no criminal record. Once you have been accepted, your school will issue you an acceptance letter that you can use to apply for your student visa. When applying for a student visa, it is important to make sure that all your documents are accurate and up to date. You will need to provide proof of identity such as a passport, birth certificate, and/or driver's license. You will also need to provide a copy of your acceptance letter from your school and evidence of your financial capability. Finally, you will need to submit an application fee and answer any questions on the application form honestly. Once you have been approved for your student visa, you will be able to stay in Canada while you study. While studying in Canada, you may be able to look for jobs to support yourself financially. With a student visa, you may also be eligible to apply for a post-graduation work permit which allows you to stay in Canada after you've completed your studies and gain valuable Canadian work experience. When moving to Canada without a job offer, it is important to make sure that you find a place to live. Depending on how long you plan on staying in Canada, there are different types of accommodation you can choose from. If you are looking for a short-term stay, consider staying in a hostel or a hotel. This type of accommodation is usually cheaper and more convenient, as they usually provide basic amenities such as linens and towels, and sometimes even food. If you are planning to stay in Canada longer, it might be better to rent an apartment or house. Several websites and apps can help you find an affordable place to live, such as Airbnb, Roomster, and HomeAway. Additionally, if you are a student, many universities offer student accommodation that may be more affordable than private rental options. Before making any decisions about your accommodation, make sure to do your research. Look up reviews from past tenants and ask questions about the rental agreement. If you are renting a room from someone else's home, be sure to clarify who pays for what and what rules apply. Additionally, ask about the neighborhood and the cost of living in that area so that you can budget accordingly. Finding the right accommodation is essential when moving to Canada without a job offer. Do your research and make sure to make a decision that fits within your budget and lifestyle. If you're looking to move to Canada without a job offer, you'll need to get a work permit. A work permit is a document that allows foreign nationals to legally work in Canada for some time. There are several different types of work permits you can apply for, depending on your situation. For example, if you're moving to Canada with a job offer from a Canadian employer, you may qualify for an open work permit. This type of work permit does not require the employer to provide a labor market impact assessment (LMIA). If you don't have a job offer but still want to work in Canada, you can apply for a work permit through the International Experience Canada program. This program allows young professionals from around the world to gain international experience in Canada. You must meet certain eligibility requirements and be between the ages of 18 and 35 to apply. In addition to the International Experience Canada program, there are other ways you can apply for a work permit, such as through an employer-specific or post-graduation work permit. Depending on your qualifications, you may also be eligible for an investor or self-employed work permit. When applying for a work permit, make sure you meet all of the requirements and that you provide all of the necessary documents. If your application is approved, you will receive your work permit within weeks and can begin working in Canada. Once you have all the paperwork and permits in order, you can start looking for jobs in Canada. Start by researching the job market in your chosen area of Canada. Research companies and industries that may be hiring and compile a list of potential employers. You can also use online job sites like Indeed or Monster to search for open positions. When you start applying for jobs, tailor your resume and cover letter to the specific position. Make sure to highlight any skills and experience that are relevant to the position. You can also contact potential employers directly and inquire about available positions. Networking is also an important part of the job search. Connect with people who work in the industry you're interested in and ask them questions. They can provide helpful insights into the job market, help you make connections with employers, and offer tips on what kind of jobs are available. Finally, attend job fairs and other career events where you can meet potential employers face-to-face. This will give you a chance to make a good impression and show why you'd be an ideal candidate for their open positions. Good luck with your job search in Canada.